Welcome to the final news and SVG-TV news broadcast for 2021. I'm Khalil Cater with the details. First off, this evening, the head of the SVG Christian Council is calling on Vincentians to reconcile their differences heading into 2022, noting that the new year affords people the opportunity to make new changes and embrace new beginnings. Monsignor Michael Stewart says it is important that people make the effort to reconcile.
And when I talk about reconciliation, I'm talking about the collapsing of the gap, the distance between two persons. So I'm using it in a personal sense. And if, for example, I and my brother are not corresponding well, reconciliation would mean that I would leave where I am and, to use the expression, collapse the gap, the distance between myself and the other, so that we would improve our relationship, we'd grow in trust of one another, we'd grow in harmony with God and with neighbor.
Monsignor Stewart touched on the political divisions plaguing the society, noting that people should pray to erase them and be more open and tolerant of each other.
Always want or will the good of the other person. And if we will the good of the other person, then truly would take better care, better interest in one another, and will not let the divide would come so easily, especially politically, that this would not throw us off key and cause the society to continue to experience ruptures which affect personal lives, familiar lives, our lives as moral persons, and lives which are influenced by various religious persuasions. Let us pray for the good. Let us ask God to give us the grace to be open, to be reconciled, to be new persons in 2022.
Looking ahead to 2022, the head of the Christian Council says there will be many opportunities that people can take advantage of, but the most important is to make time for God.
So what do we look forward to in terms of opportunity for the new year? Opportunity, I'd say, for those who believe, for those in Christ, an opportunity for renewal, a renewed encounter with Jesus Christ. I'd say, too, that it's an opportunity, too, for us who are given time, and we could talk about physical time or chronological time in this respect. Those who are given time, we should use this as opportunity to grow closer to the Lord, to deepen the grace of conversion in our lives.
With one case of the Omicron COVID-19 variant already detected in SVG and the Delta variant deemed as the dominant variant on island, fully vaccinated persons are being encouraged to take the booster shot once they have reached the time to do so. The encouragement comes from the Health Promotions Officer, Shanika John, who on radio today said that those who took the 2 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine can take the booster shot after 8 months, and those who took 2 doses of the Pfizer and Sputnik V vaccines can take the boosters after 6 months. John explained that the Omicron variant spreads faster and in a shorter space of time than the Delta and other COVID-19 variants, and persons are usually asymptomatic.
A vaccine over a specific period, you really need to consider a booster shot. Because with the new variant, the American variant, you really need to have that additional protection. So with this new variant of concern, what are we most likely to see? One, we're most likely to see that the incubation period of the virus is much shorter, so which means people are going to get sick faster. So before, the normal strain of the virus will probably take about 5 to 7 days. The Delta virus will take about 3 to 4 days. With this particular variant, it's going to be a shorter incubation period, which means people are going to get sick quicker. And it's going to be sick where you are actually symptomatic. So we expect to see more symptomatic persons. 2, in terms of the transmission of it, it's going to be extremely mild. So we expect that people are going to get sick, but they're going to be mild cases of the variant.
John said that persons should not give COVID-19 a chance, especially as some may misjudge its symptoms for the regular flu.
So I know a lot of persons may now be experiencing flu-like symptoms, or you probably previously you were experiencing flu-like symptoms, but you said to yourself, you know, I'm not going to go get tested because if I go and get tested, I'm going to miss out on the Christmas celebration. But that was extremely risky, Johnny, because now you have exposed a number of other persons and you have not given them the opportunity to make that decision on their own. So, again, I'm encouraging persons, if you are experiencing flu-like symptoms, one, do not run to go and take the vaccine now. So you should really try to get assessed first, and that would require a test in most instances.
The health promotions officer said that with the threat of the quick spread of the Omicron variant on island, they are mindful of the resources available to deal with a large number of hospitalizations.
We are concerned about in the Ministry of Health is that because our vaccination rate is extremely low, the severity of the transmission, increase in hospitalization, that could ultimately lead to death. That has always been our concern. So we encourage persons to get vaccinated. And if you've been vaccinated, to get that additional protection, which is a booster shot at this point. And I know the conversation is then going to go, but then how long do I need to take a booster? Do I need to take a booster shot? Is this going to be every 6 months? Is this going to be every year? Is this going to be every 2 years? And those are questions that I don't have the answer to, and I don't think the information is out there as yet either. But what we do know is that we need to give ourselves a fighting chance.
And with schools across the island scheduled to reopen on Monday for face-to-face instructions, the COVID-19 task force has taken the decision not to add any new protocols to accommodate this transition. The health promotions officer noted that the protocols are clear and that only vaccinated teachers will be allowed to teach, and encouraged parents to consider getting their child or children vaccinated once they are 12 years or older.
To be adhered to in terms of students and the teachers alike?
No, the protocol is going to remain the same. We're going to have to ask for at least for teachers to consider to be vaccinated. At this point, you know, all of the teachers are vaccinated. The students, parents need to actually consider and have that discussion to whether or not you are want to have your child vaccinated. And the Pfizer vaccine is available for those children that are 12 years and older. And we have it in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so that in itself provides an opportunity for added protection. We're talking about the reduction in transmission, severity of the disease, and also death.
Reflecting on 2021, the health promotions officer says that the year has been generous, even though there were more deaths from COVID-19 compared to when the pandemic started in 2020.
2021 has been extremely generous to most of us. I know a lot of us have lost this year, but we've come thus far. And I think going into 2022, we need to take the lessons that we've learned from this year in particular. And the science has been clear, Johnny. All of our deaths are persons who are unvaccinated. All of those persons unvaccinated. So we need to really ensure that we have, and like I said it before, we need to give our bodies, our children, a fighting chance of survival. And we really believe that the vaccination is the best way to go with that.
In other news, 8 months after the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano, hiking to the summit remains off limits. So said Director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Michelle Forbes.
Still don't recommend that people go up randomly for sightseeing. We want anyone going up to be able to contact us and let us know the reason you're going up, especially if it's not for the purpose of monitoring the volcano or doing some research along with us or the Seismic Research Center. We will not generally encourage it because the trail is still very much unstable. There's a lot of loose material up there. I know I've seen persons going up, but you go at your own risk if you do, because it is very, very unstable. It is not what it was before. Just as in 1979, it would have been really bare. It's even worse now. There are some areas that it's like really, they're precipice. If you go up there, you have to be careful. One slip, you can go over.
The NEMO director said the clearing of the trail leading to the summit continues, and that the all clear for hiking could be made in about 2 months' time, depending on certain factors.
Levels, so it's different things. We're looking at the gas levels to see if things are decreasing. So we can say, okay, relatively safe to go there. We are also working with the Ministry of the National Parks, Rivers Authorities, because they're the ones who have been preparing the trail for us. They have really done a tremendous amount of work on clearing the trees, getting the trail back up to some level so that the scientists can go up. We're going to monitor it over the next month or two and see, based on the gas levels and based on the work that the national parks would have done, and if they would see it fit for us to say that we can reopen back maybe in early in the new year. I can't say when, but it's something in progress. We are going to re-examine it for sure by the end of January, February. We'll have some update on that.
The ceremonial opening of the second session of the 11th Parliament, which was scheduled for Monday at 4 p.m., has been rescheduled to the following Monday, January 10th. This is according to a notice issued today by the Clerk of the House of Assembly. The notice of the rescheduled event therefore means that the budget presentation by Minister of Finance Camilo Gonzalez, which was scheduled to take place on January 3rd, will now take place on January 10th. The 2022 estimates of revenues and expenditure were presented on December 13th by Minister Gonzalez, amounting to 1.3 billion EC dollars, which he said represents a 9.6% increase over the approved budget for 2021. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez said the 2022 estimates and budget will help to make life better for all Vincentians. A 35-year-old security guard who was arrested in connection with a pornographic video with a young child has been charged with 2 counts of indecent assault. The video, which has sparked public outrage, shows a child performing a sexual act on a man. Yesterday, the SVG police force said that it is aware that the video has been circulating through several mediums and issued a warning to persons in possession of and sharing the video, noting that it is a criminal offense to do so under the Cybercrime Act 2016. The man, who is now facing the indecent assault charges in relation to the minor, is expected to appear in court on Monday. The SVG police force has issued a wanted bulletin for Jaheim Schilling Belgraves of Rose Place. The bulletin said investigations are being carried out into several reports of burglary in which Belgraves is a person of interest. Police say the youngster is considered to be armed and dangerous and should be approached with caution. Police are soliciting your assistance in locating the subject. If seen, you're asked to contact any police station or the Deputy Commissioner of Police at telephone number 451-2467 or 457-1211 extension 4814, or the officer in charge of the Criminal Investigations Department at 456-1810 or 457-1211 extension 4839. The police say calls will be treated confidentially. And Senior Traffic Officer Inspector Parnell Brown is not pleased with the reckless driving seen over the past week and is pleading with persons who know they have consumed alcohol to get a designated driver. This, he said, is one way of ensuring there are no accidents during this New Year's holiday weekend.
Persons who are visiting St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the first time, and persons who are accustomed to be here visiting to spend this Christmas season with us. I know that this is a season of giving and sharing, a season where persons are spending time with their friends and family. But at present I am seeing some videos and some pictures circulating of persons being very reckless on our roads. When you're planning your family events or you're planning your events with your friends, remember to plan to have a designated driver. If you're drinking, do not drive.
Inspector Brown cautioned persons to strictly adhere to the no drinking and driving law, noting that failure to do so can result in dire consequences.
Please do not drink and drive during this season. Hence, you will be putting yourself and other persons at risk to be seriously injured or getting killed. Therefore, I'm asking you to continue to extend courtesy on the road, be considerate for other road users, and let us end the year 2021 on a good note, accident-free 2021, as in we are spending our last day in 2021, and I want you to have a Christ-filled and productive 2022.